So, today's guest has over 89,000 subscribers.
Over 18 million views on YouTube, and he's one of the biggest product reviewers of golf YouTube. Some say he's small.
Is he really that small?
On the talk show tonight, we ask,
has golf tech gone too far?
his thoughts on the change in the world #1, and much, much more.
We introduce Mr. James Robinson.
Let's do it.
Well, let's do it now.
Hello and welcome to the ShankerZ Talk Show, where tonight we are joined by none other than Mr. James Robinson.
How are you doing, boys? You okay?
How are you doing, James?
Good, thanks. Thanks for coming on.
Myself, Golf Nuts. There's the Tattoo Golfer. And there's also GMac Golf.
Hello.
So, yes. So, how is James? Are you well?
I'm okay, mate. Thank you. Very good. Lovely introduction. Thank you very much.
Shame he took a few goes.
Absolutely.
It's all right, I'm going to leave that in.
I should do that in every single one of my videos. It'd be there forever.
There's no outtakes, is there, on this show?
Absolutely not. We just
Not just yet.
good.
I hope not.
Is it not live? I thought we were live.
No.
Oh.
We're live amongst ourselves.
Yeah, there's that.
So, yes.
Before we start,
Go on.
you've got a ShankerZ question to answer in a bit, James. We'll let you know what the question is now.
Yeah.
And then later on in the show, you can give us your answer, give you a bit of time to think about it. So the question is, you've got a free-hole match. It can be at any free holes.
Oh, you asked me this. Yeah, you asked me on Twitter, didn't you? You mentioned it.
Any free holes, one YouTuber, one celebrity, and one pro golfer.
Mate, I've got it already, mate. Yeah,
You've got it? Oh, so I'll wait for the answer later on.
I'm going to blag the 3 holes, but I've got the 3 guys. I think.
Right.
Yeah, I have. Yeah.
No worries. Should we
We've
just
got
start?
plenty of time
to hearing it.
to butter him up to change his mind.
Yeah, he's going to be thinking now, oh, should I pick him instead? That's what Pete did it yesterday. He said, oh, it'd be Rick if it was at the old course, but then he said, but if it was anywhere else, it'd be
Eric Anderslang, weren't it, or someone else?
Page, weren't it? Page.
Oh, sorry, yeah, Paige Brannick, yeah.
I mean, how you can get them two mixed up worries me slightly, if I'm honest.
Yeah.
Considering I've just watched it as well.
I'm going to no comment on that one, boys, I think, with that.
Oh, man.
Right, so get cracking with
Let's
topic one.
let's dive straight in. And
Yep.
obviously, it's sort of a topic that's prominent with you, being a reviewer. Do you think club tech, not just Woods, but club tech in general, has gone too far?
Personally, I don't. And it's a funny one. It's a real funny... Sorry, boys, the dog's... I'm going to let the dog out 1 second.
No worries.
Who let the dog out? James.
He's not really my dog, it's the girlfriend's dog.
Yeah, that's what they all say.
If it was an Alsatian, it'd be mine. But do you want to start that again or just keep rolling? I have to keep rolling?
Yeah, carry on.
Yeah, keep rolling.
So it's a real funny one for me because, I mean, like probably all of us, the reason why we're sat here now talking to each other is because we love golf. And I think if we start saying that golf's gone too far in any shape or form, be it technology, be it coaching, be it golf course design, I think we start to then hinder progress.
Yeah.
So, like for me, I always think of, and you might laugh at this, but I'm a massive fan of comedy. I love laughing, love comedians. Anything that's going to make me laugh, I'm all over it. So I don't know if you've ever seen it, but Frankie Boyle once said, he was asked about kind of probably cheats in sport or something, and cheats is probably a bit too far, but his answer to that was, I want to see someone run the 100 metres with the heart of a lion, the legs of an ostrich, and then finish in a blaze of fire. And I'm a bit like that with golf stuff. It's like, I want to see how good we can get it before we start worrying. Because to be honest, lads, golf's hard, isn't it? Like,
I
it's
personally,
not easy.
If golf was easy, we'd all be on the telly.
Yeah,
Exactly.
No, I think golf is the hardest sport in the world. Personally,
Absolutely.
I think it is the hardest sport in the world.
It's the hardest bat and ball sport in the world. Fact.
Just sport in general.
If you
So
break
at
it
school,
down,
Sorry, go on. No, you're okay.
Yeah, you've got a bit of metal that you're trying to hit a little white thing off a wooden thing on a bit of grass. And to try and get the hand-eye
That's the best
coordination.
summarisation of golf I've ever heard. You've got a metal thing, a plastic thing, and some grass. Crack on.
Did you not get told that as well at PJ School?
Brilliant. But like, so when I was at school, I was okay at everything. So I was to be fair, football was rubbish, but I was all right at rugby, basketball. I'd have a go, even volleyball. I'd have a go at 5'9". He's 5'9" as well, boys. Before you start,
No comment.
Oh, hold on a minute. Weren't you the same height as Seb? And Seb's like 3'2".
do you want to rewatch that video back, mate?
Yeah, you are a little bit taller.
There's not a lot in it.
But then, so like because I love comedy, but I love sport as well. So for me, I always knew my career was going to be in sport one way or another. So I did GCSE PE, I did A-level sport, and I actually ended up taking my GCSE teachers to play golf. Now, a lot of them hadn't played golf. And afterwards, like, one of them used to play Super League, one of them, like, he played football to a decent standard. I don't think it was professional or anything, but like, afterwards, they were like, Jesus, Robert, that's hard, isn't it? Like, they didn't realise how hard it was until I stood there. I think I only played off about 6 or 4 at the time as well. And like, so I've hit it decent. I played all right. Nowhere near like the standard that most professionals would play at. But they're like amazed by it, and they've said, "I can't believe, first of all, how good you are, and then how bad we are, and how hard it is." And then I've had to have a conversation with them, saying, "Well, you think I'm good? I've probably shot like 10 over for 18 holes. Like, that's not good. It may look all right, but it's not." And I don't mean to say that 10 over for 18 holes isn't good for some people, because it is. It's fantastic.
Absolutely.
But for a level where, like, you're talking about someone who played Super League rugby, which for people in America who are watching, or down south that are watching, is like the hardest level of professional sport there is, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
So,
No, well, it's even that. I've just started taking a couple of lads to range who can just hit a ball. And then they've said like the similar thing. They're saying like, because I can hit it quite far. They're like, bloody how do you hit it that far? Oh, I bet you're decent. I bet you're decent. So fucking shit. That just means you're really, really shit.
Yeah. Owen, we've seen you swing, Owen. We don't know how you can hit it that far either.
I know.
No, what it's them,
It's just these long arms.
Yeah, it generates so much clubhead speed with them arms. It's unbelievable.
Yeah.
So like, we had a chat about like the ball. People are saying that the ball needs to be brought back. So like the courses now.
Totally disagree.
Totally disagree.
Because my problem there is, if they bring the ball back, they're not going to bring it back for us because we're rubbish. They're going to bring it back for the pros. And my massive thing about golf is, I can go and play. Fair enough, it might cost you some money. I can go and play exactly the same golf course that Tiger Woods played the day after he's played it, in the same conditions with the same equipment. And as soon as we lose that, I can't go and play at Wembley the day after the FA Cup final, no matter how much money I've got. I can't do it.
You can't do it. Yeah.
So as soon as we lose that, we lose one of the biggest factors that we can use to advertise golf and to get people to play golf.
I think if you bring the ball back, you lose some of the shorter hitters off tour as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
You look at your Rorys and your DJs that are knocking it over 300 on average every round.
Mm-hmm.
The guys that are hitting it 270, 280 on tour, they're not on tour anymore because they can't compete because they're too short.
Potentially they are, because it brings everyone back. So all they do is they make the golf course shorter.
Yeah.
Because the last thing that the PGA took...
I think the argument is, are the golf courses getting easier because you can cut the corners now, and rather than, do you know what I mean? So
then to be fair, you look at what we've all seen on Twitter, Augusta. So they've put a new tee on the par 5, haven't they? The 13th, I think
back,
it is.
yeah.
So it almost becomes a bit like they've got the land and they've done it. So it's not an issue.
I played Augusta on Sunday, was it? Sunday. I can't get to the corner. No, it was on a simulator. I can't get to the corner, and I've got it out of the screws, and I'm just to the corner. Luckily, because I play a fade, I had a shot in, but I don't know how them boys did it. I don't.
Well, it's only really, I think Bubba knocked it over the corner, didn't he? And then after that, no one goes over the corner. So all you're doing is, you're doing what you used to do for Tiger. You're Bubba proofing a golf course, which I just don't get it.
Yeah, I suppose.
I think one of the things that we all seem to skip past is the quality of the golfer, as well as the quality of the equipment. You know.
Yeah, you've got to be good to hit that
10
corner.
times
Yeah,
better
of
now.
course. Yeah,
And this
I
is
think that's
this is the thing where, I read through. I was going to do a full video on it, but to be honest, I don't know if you watched Mark Crossfield's video on the new USGA, but I thought he covered it perfectly.
Yeah. That was Monday night, Tuesday night? This week,
Something
wasn't it?
like, because I spoke to him and we were going to do a bit of a FaceTime video. It didn't happen. To be honest, I thought it covered it perfectly, where there's bigger problems. We need to get more people playing. We need to get more ethnic minorities playing. We need to get more women playing. We need to get more people playing the game. We don't need to make it any harder. But then also, people are fitter, people are stronger, people are moving faster, and that's just life. Like you probably look at any sport now. Like look at Cristiano Ronaldo now. I've got a signed shirt over there, and he what is he now? Is he 30, 35, 36?
Yeah.
Yeah. No,
And
I think he's younger than me. He's a bit younger than 36.
40 then. I'm joking. but he's literally got the physical, because they did a test on him and he's got the physical body of like a 23-year-old.
Mm.
But guys can do that now because they're highly paid. All they've really got is time. So if they're going to use that time in the gym to make themselves better at their profession, to make more money, to have more time to do that, it's just an endless cycle of improving yourself physically and improving yourself towards a common goal, which is obviously your sport.
And that's the same as golf pros. That's why they are so good, because they're hitting 500, 1,000 balls a day. They're in the gym every day.
I've just come from range, mate. I know.
See, people have got all the time in the world.
50 this time.
How many lessons you had?
yeah. I took Foxy down and made a couple of pints, and that was it.
Yeah.
Joys.
But yeah, it's funny, isn't it, that we talk about the sport that we love and has technology gone too far and so on, because it's getting easier. It's not. Mm-hmm. But if you look at something like sprinting, people don't want to see Usain Bolt run any slower. They want to see it running faster.
Yeah, well, rockets in his new Nike shoes.
Exactly. So why?
You want to see him take one stride and he's finished.
Exactly. Yeah. So why do people want to make our sport harder than it already is?
Because it's still, I'm going to stay as politically correct as I can, it's still governed by people who don't really know what they're doing with it. They don't really know where they want to go with it. If golf was governed by people in the age bracket of 20 to 40, I think we'd see a massive difference in who it's governed by now. And I mean, some of the big wigs might well be in that age bracket, but I think
they're undermined.
I just think there's still a lot of
like that new logo from a few months ago. Is it the European Tour logo that you didn't like?
Oh, for me, that was. I still don't understand that now. I just do not understand. The best thing is they paid someone a lot of money for that, and I just
could have paid me. I could have done it so much better for him. I would have done it half the price as well.
Yeah, I think you're right. It's governed by. I don't have to be politically correct. It's governed by dinosaurs.
Yeah.
Ultimately it is.
2 seconds.
That's what needs to change.
Mrs. has decided to leave the washer on, and all I can hear it is in the background. Can you guys hear me washer rattling around the kitchen?
No, mate.
I just thought that was your brain ticking, if I'm honest.
Nah, mate, you wouldn't hear football.
You
might just hear it every now and again.
Yeah.
Yes.
So there you go. It's not gone too far then.
It's
for me,
See, it's funny, isn't it? Because obviously Peter sort of said it had, didn't he? So it's nice to see the two opinions.
The two different opinions,
pros.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we're going to jump in for a few questions now in between.
Okay.
Yeah, Lee.
I've got one from Instagram, which was everybody talks about the price of golf clubs and everything like that. But what about the price of apparel? What about the price of a T-shirt or a pair of golf shoes? When if you think a pair of Nikes is £140 and a wedge is £115. So
yeah, it's a fantastic.
What's your thought on the price of apparel and people not speaking about it?
So I think apparel's probably in a place where, because it's governed by Nike, Adidas, Puma, Jalen people don't argue with that because they're already reputable brands. So if you went to buy a pair of Adidas Predators, football boots, for the Americans who don't know what they are.
Soccer.
Football boots for Americans who don't know what they are. It's they're a proper, so like football boots, you can get the cheapo version, can't you? That look a bit like them but are nothing like them. The middle version, which is a little bit similar to what the pros wear, and then the all singing, all dancing version, which is I didn't really play much football, but it was probably about 200, 250 quid for a proper pair of boots.
Yeah, they are now. They're scandalous. I mean, I remember when I used to play, I had a pair of Predator and they were £120.
Yeah.
And that was absolute scandalous money that many years ago. Now, like you say, the 2,500 quid for a pair of Nike Vapors. You know,
I'd still pick the Copper Mondials.
You can't get them anymore.
They've remade them, haven't they?
They're not the same, though.
They're very similar.
Are they?
But then you look at like golf equipment and you think, well, yeah, that's expensive, or it can be expensive if you want it to be expensive. It's the same with clothing. It can be expensive if you want it to be expensive. I noticed who's wearing golf nuts? You're wearing Par 73, aren't you?
Yeah.
So that's not expensive, is it? It's a reasonable price. It's really good quality. It's good stuff. I got Foxy wearing it in Cyprus and he loved it.
Yeah.
So, but because he wasn't a golfer, he wasn't aware that it's one of the brands that's probably up and coming and a little bit cheaper. Like if I'd have told him, mate, these shirts are £99 each, he wouldn't have known. He wouldn't have had an idea. But people don't have to go out like me in my Adidas top tonight, and probably Pete last night, who wore something Adidas. We're very lucky to be able to wear that and get things sent to us and things like that.
Yeah.
But no one has to wear it. No one has to wear Adidas. No one has to buy a tailor-made driver. You can play golf in a Dunlop shirt, wearing a Dunlop driver. And
wearing a Dunlop driver.
Wearing a shirt and playing a driver. and you'd have just as much fun depending on who you're playing with.
Yeah, 100% agree. It's fashion.
Like if you said you're going to stick me with three of my best mates playing golf, and I've got to wear a Dunlop shirt and I've got to use Dunlop clubs, or you're going to put me with three people who I can't stand and I can wear Adidas and I can play whatever clubs I want, I'm choosing my mates all day long.
Of course you are,
and
absolutely.
That's where,
I mean, you'd probably draw the line at Donny, though, wouldn't you?
No. I'd rock a Donny golf shirt.
No, I'm on about a Donny golf club.
Yeah, draw the line at Donny.
But even that, so then if you flip that around and said, well, I'll tell you what, if you were going to go and play an event that really meant something and you've practiced for weeks and weeks and weeks, and so like that pro I played in, really wanted to play well, didn't play amazing, but showed up. I would not have turned up there in, not necessarily done a shirt, because a shirt's a shirt, but I wouldn't have turned up with golf clubs that weren't suited to me or weren't at the highest level that I could get hold of so that I could go and play my best.
Yeah.
So that comes back to how seriously do you take your golf. So if you take your golf seriously, you have lessons, you've probably got a membership, you're going to have half-decent clubs. It's not the cheapest of sports, is it? And that's where we probably don't help ourselves, but then you can play it cheaper. But you can play any sports for cheaper.
It's like anything. Like with football boots, you can go and buy a pair of Sondico football boots, for instance, or you can buy a pair of Adidas Predators. And when it comes to the clothing, for me, at the end of the day, golf clothing is fashion, still fashion. You feel nice when you've got a nice Adidas top on. So I wear a lot of Adidas golf clothing stuff myself. I don't get it for free.
Is Adidas
James.
like Adidas?
It's Adidas. Where I'm from, it's Adidas, and I get on the buzz as well.
Is it Nike as well?
No, it's Nike.
Yeah.
Yeah, the nod of the head says it all, really, doesn't it? Yeah.
Sorry,
I'm looking at the little digital thing behind James's right shoulder, and I'm hoping it's going to go to 89,000 tonight whilst we are live on here.
Is that your
tell you where
subcam?
we are. Yeah, that's my girlfriend got me that for Christmas, to be fair, and we are. I was looking at earlier. Oh, we're 88994, so there's a chance.
So there is a chance, right? How many accounts have I got? Funnily enough, hang on.
Yeah, so we're talking about YouTube and your sub count. You've kind of you've kind of shot up over the last few months with your subs. I've seen. Like
it's actually slowed down in the last few months. Actually,
so
since the winter's notorious for golf, isn't it? Maybe slow down a little bit, but like the big thing, like in the summer, it was mental. Like summer was 6,000 subs a month.
You flew up to like 50,000, wasn't it? Like you got up there real quick.
Yeah,
I remember seeing that.
And it slowed down a little bit, but to be honest, if I said I didn't look at it, I'm lying. But it's not about that. Like someone with 1,000 subs can get as many views as someone with 100,000 subs if the content's right, if the thumbnail's right, and if it's watchable to a point where people will carry on watching to a decent point through the video.
You ever struggle for ideas for your content? No?
Never. No. This is one of them where if I didn't enjoy what I'm doing...
You wouldn't do it.
I wouldn't do it. I'm quite a compulsive person. It's like if you look around my office now, like there's clubs there, there's shit over there, and it's very much like anything that I put my mind to, I'm going to do it, and I'm going to do it right. I'm going to do it 100% until I feel like I've achieved something. So, like that over there is a marathon medal. Look at the state of me. Like I'm not a marathon runner, but
you're amongst good company there.
Well, exactly, yeah. But I put my mind to it, and I thought, basically, I want to run. I want to keep running, a bit like Forrest Gump almost. Like really enjoyed running. Did a half marathon, wasn't satisfied. Did a marathon, right, finished. Crossed the finish line, no interest in running. I mean, I'm trying to pick it up again now to lose a bit of timber, but as soon as I crossed that finish line in London, just didn't want to run again. Finished. Thanks for the medal, done. And I mean, I don't think YouTube will go like that because obviously it has become a career as well. So obviously you've got to look after yourself business-wise. But yeah, very much once I get my teeth into something, I'm almost a little bit probably, I got it too far almost. And you could say daily content's too far, but then like, I'll be honest, I don't feel like I've put out in the last year a video that I'm not happy with.
I was about to say, with you doing the daily content, you haven't yet, and I don't know if you will, gone to the gimmick side of things. It's all been serious, ultimately serious golf content, which is great.
But you see, and then a lot of people disagree with you and say that I have. So, like, a lot of my titles have been quite artistic, I suppose you could say.
The titles, but the content itself.
When it comes to titles and thumbnails, you've got to be artistic with your titles and your thumbnails. Or not a lot of people are going to click your thumbnail. You could have the worst content in the world, but if your thumbnail and your title's good, you're going to get them clicks and them views. So,
no idea how I've got away with it for so long.
That's probably.
And obviously, YouTube's a business, isn't it? At the end of the day, so I definitely try to give people value. I definitely try to help them improve the game, lower the handicap, and all the rest. But you've still got to have that aspect of, you need the views, don't you? Like, you need people to watch it. You need people to interact with you. And I feel like I've done that okay without almost selling my soul a little bit to some kind of content that may not be as you would like.
Yeah. No, I totally agree with what you're saying. And talking about, obviously, because obviously you've got Spriggsy as well, haven't you, as your mid-handicapper?
Yeah, good guy. Really nice guy.
Where was the idea of the high handicapper? Was that just your mate wanted to get into golf and then...
Yeah, so to be honest, this is a really good one, you'll like this. So Fox has been my best mate since we started secondary school. Like, literally, you bump into each other at first day of secondary school. Hey, mate, my name's James. Oh, nice one. We'll be mates. Simple as that. And then, like, we've gone through different stages in life where we don't talk for a few weeks, but we've literally been that close for so long. And he rang me and he said, "Oh, mate, I've got a week's holiday to take from work." So Foxy works for he's going to kill me if I know this, the National Power Grid. So he works quite hard, like long hours. He's on call a lot. When he gets a week off, he literally just wants to relax. He said, "Mate, I've got a week off. Can we go somewhere and do something?" I said, "I'll tell you what, we can, but I need to, like, if I go on holiday, I need to get a week in front to upload." So I said, "Well, why don't we go away, but I'm going to teach you how to play golf." And he was like, "Well, I've always fancied it." Yeah, he's a keen cricketer. He loves cricket. So I said, let's teach how to play golf. He was up for it. We went. Obviously, I made the content, and to be honest, that content didn't go down very well. The whole beginner series it's done okay, but it's not done. Because I thought it was quite original. I thought it was something which a lot of people would get the teeth into and enjoy, and it's not done overly well. But the reason why we carry on doing it is I'm loving it. He's loving it. We spend a lot of time together. We've gone on a couple of trips together.
Yeah.
It may not be the content that brings in the views, but I'm absolutely loving it, and it's keeping my appetite wet for doing more content.
Yeah.
It's like, so we've got this race to Dubai, so he's going to try and break 100. It's going to be at the Els Club, so I've not released that yet, but people know now.
Ooh,
in Dubai.
YouTube exclusive.
There you go. Very, very tough golf course, and to be honest, you'll watch this, Foxy. It's a tough golf course. That's all I'm going to say. So if he does it, he's done it properly. He's not going to play the golf course, which a lot of people could break 100. It's a very, very hard golf course. But afterwards, I'm going to ask him a question. I'm going to ruin the whole thing now, but basically we're going to make a golfer out of him, whether he breaks 100 or not. And that, for me, is a massive, massive win. Whereas a lot of people might watch it, and if he doesn't break 100, they'll think, the whole series has been a waste of time. Absolutely not. To be honest, if he doesn't break 100, it's not because we can do it again.
Yeah, exactly.
That's it. But and if he still wants to carry on playing golf, you've helped the golf world by bringing that one more person.
If the worst thing comes out of that video is we've created one more golfer, whatever. You know what I mean? I'm fine with that.
You've ultimately succeeded, haven't you?
Absolutely, yeah. And the way I see that going now is he's going to be my high handicap guy. And we're not going to review every single product as a high handicap test, but he's put enough work in to warrant having a handicap. I can't see him joining a golf club. So we'll find some sort of app or some sort of system where he can have a handicap, and then he can go and play. Like a lot of his mates play as well.
Yeah.
So like Josh, Jamie, Gib, all them people, they go and play, and he now joins them in a 4-ball. He doesn't feel out of place. And that's like absolutely massive.
Yeah, that's really good
for him and for them, because he gets to spend more time with me, but more time with his other friends as well.
Probably forget about work a lot more as well, because he's concentrating on his golf. That work just becomes a thing of the past while he's on the golf course, chilling out with his mates.
Yeah,
absolutely. And like being a cricketer, cricket's a very seasonal sport in that literally it shuts down for 8 months or 10 months. Cricket's not my forte, to be fair, but.
A Yorkshireman that don't like cricket?
Oh no, mate. I know. But he loves it. He absolutely. We've come from range tonight, and his text the phone keeps going off. What do you think of this swing? How did it? He's loving it.
Yeah,
so,
that's good.
Really happy with it. Yeah,
that's what it's all about. I had this conversation with my dad and my uncle, because they're the ones who got me into actually playing golf when I was a bit younger.
Mm-hmm.
And if you would have asked them 5 years prior because they started golf quite late, if you would have said, do you fancy a game of golf? They would have said, it's an old man's sport. That was their idea of it. And now they can't get enough. They go away every September on a golfing trip, which I can go on now. It's brilliant. When you're on that golf course for that 4 hours, you seem to not talk about anything other than golf.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know, mate. I disagree with that massively. You want to come
to be
fair,
some of the conversations we've had as well, boys, ain't been golf related.
Yeah.
No, that's actually very true. Yes.
Yeah, true.
Well, I think that one should be left
Take that statement back. Take that back.
It sounded good for the podcast, didn't it? So,
Swiftly moving on. Should we go on to topic number 2?
Yeah, let's jump in. And Mr. McElroy back at world number 1.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on that? Because I've got an opinion, and I think Lee's got an opinion on it as well.
An opinion is in how he's got there. An opinion is he going to stay there?
Both.
So, I think you. I mean, I don't like to speak for people, but especially people like Rory McIlroy. But I think he would have liked to have got there on a riding in on a chariot and a blaze of fire. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I think most people would probably agree with that, but I think being world number 1 speaks for itself. It's like you are literally the best player in the world. And even to have held that accolade once is brilliant, but to now rehab it, I bet it means more to him now than the first time. He won't realise what it meant.
Yeah, totally agree with that.
And hopefully it can give him the confidence. I'd love him to win the Masters. I think he's provided that much to the sport, like in such a short period of time. For him to win the Grand Slam would be unbelievable. And hopefully he can get that. I think if he wins the Masters, he goes and wins 4 more. Not Masters, but majors.
Yeah.
On that, I don't think he can.
What, win the Masters?
I don't think he can do it. Simply because...
You seen him play?
Once or twice, but I think it comes down to the media pressure on him. And I think the amount of media pressure he has around the Masters, I think the last couple of years, he's really struggled with it. So unless something's changed, something dramatically changes in his mental game around that competition.
Like getting married?
Yeah, potentially.
But this is the thing. So he got married last year, didn't he?
Yes.
Last year. And since then, his form's just gone... Because like he doesn't care. He doesn't seem to care about anything now. It's like you watch all his interviews and his media stuff, and he's just like, "Hey, boys, you all right? Yeah, I'm just going to go and hit this driver 500 yards. Bang, not bothered." And I think and I hope he takes that into the Masters and says, "Look, like being world number 1, obviously, you're getting invited to the Masters if you're world top 50.
Top 50.
So he's not going to slip out the top 50 anytime soon, is he? He's probably going to play in the next 15 to 20 Masters." And he might even get invites because he's won so many majors. If you win the Masters, you get an invite for life.
Yeah.
So potentially he's going to play the next 15, 20 Masters. If you said he's going to, in the next 20 years, he's going to win another major, yeah, I think we can all probably agree he's going to win another major at some point. That narrows it down to 1 out of 4. He can play well around Augusta because he's done it.
Yeah.
He just had a bad back 9 on Sunday, which is unfortunate.
Yeah.
I just can't see why not. He plays the course every year. Obviously, a lot of them play the course every year, but a lot of them kind of fall out of contention but turn up just to play.
Yeah.
And they won't tell you that, but a lot of them probably do, don't they?
Yeah, of course they do.
So you can probably put him in the top 10% of the field every year, and you're doing that for, like we said, 15, 20 years.
Don't get me wrong, I would absolutely love to see him win it.
Yeah,
I'd love to see him win it.
That kind of digressed from him being world number 1, didn't it? But yeah.
Is he going to stay world number 1?
No. Not because he's not good enough, but because everyone else is so good.
Yeah.
You look at the world top 10, and you can't believe that's the top 10 in the world, because there's guys that some people may have never heard of. I mean, we've all heard of them because we're golf fans, but I think Webb Simpson 6th in the world, or very high up. It's like that's unbelievable, isn't it?
Yeah.
The world rankings isn't like it was 10, 15 years ago. No. You know, your top 10.
You could reel them off, couldn't you?
They just sort of bounce around. It's not like that anymore.
We were talking about the old Order of Merit, where Colin Montgomery was 5 years Order of Merit for the European Tour, but nowhere in the world rankings. It just goes to show you where it has changed.
Yeah.
A little bit, and then a little bit in the, like it's always been, a lot of the money's in America, isn't it? So winning the PGA Tour event means a lot more than winning the European Tour event, unfortunately.
Well, I think the introduction of the Rolex series has changed that a little bit, hasn't it? I think you see some of them. I think
it has, but then if you look at how many Americans come over to play in that, it almost like a lot of the young lad Europeans don't get a look in. So like one of my mates, Jigger, got a full European Tour card 2 years ago, played every event he could get in. And I think he played in 1 Rolex event, or maybe 2, but like he didn't get into the Rolex events because Patrick Reed came over and played, or Tony Finau came over and played. And it was like, it's brilliant for the marketing of the event and stuff, but the lads who are playing week in, week out on the European Tour don't get a look into the biggest purse. What's all that about?
Yeah.
We
were speaking about that as well, weren't we? The fact that Patrick Reed
last
came over and he was playing the European events and what have you. Me and Graham were speaking about it the other day, and it's like, I mean, we can't say much about it because our guys go over and play the PGA Tour, but like you said, if it's knocking one of the regulars out of it, then that's a bit unfair, really. Especially when that guy's trying to make his livelihood, and all Patrick Reed possibly trying to do is just earn a couple more quid because he can't win on the PGA Tour.
Yeah, and then I think very rarely do you get a European that goes over on a sponsor's invite for the PGA Tour. Like, I know we've got Fitzy over there at the minute, we've got Willett over there at the minute, we've got all Yorkshire lads who are basically bossing it over there at the minute. because well, they're there on merit, they're not there on an invite. And you can say that the Americans are in Europe on merit because the world ranking, which is great. But then that becomes a vicious cycle, doesn't it? Of, well, I'm going to play in the biggest events. And it almost becomes a case of when you're in the world top 50, it's harder to get out of it than it was to get in it.
Yeah.
Because you're just playing, like you're playing WGCs, which have got no cut. So you're going to make money there, even if you finish last. And then you're going to get invites to the biggest tournaments. So,
yeah.
Well, back to Raw anyway, because I know we've massively gone off track.
That's the joys of
the joys of the podcast.
I mean, if we talk about the top 50, what about Jordan Spieth?
Where is he? I don't know where he is.
Not in the top 50.
He's fell out of the top 50.
Joking.
No, he's gone.
Give me 2 seconds.
And for somebody who's a major winner, multiple major winner.
Yeah, like recently as well.
Yeah.
It's a shocker. It really is a shocker. So if you
don't know that.
Yeah, he's out of the top 50, which I guess that's just form and a lot of other things as well.
Yeah. I mean, it kind of, the top 50 in the world speaks for itself, doesn't it? Where if you're not performing, you're not in it.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah.
You found it, G.
Hogs are going here.
No, because my computer's garbage and it's still saying Justin Thomas is world number 1 and Rory's number 6. So
you're about 3 years behind, mate.
Yeah, it's the Midlands for you, mate. We're still on dial-up.
Is it Black Country?
No, not quite that. I'm
That's where my dad's from.
Oh, right.
Coventry.
My dad's from the Black Country,
My brother is, yeah. My brother-in-law is, should I say.
Yeah, no, Coventry. I'm not that far up. I ain't got a funny accent.
What are you trying to say about the people from the north who've got funny accents?
Absolutely.
Thanks.
And they keep...
Because let's face it, I couldn't get any more northern if I tried.
No, you couldn't.
Talking about majors and competition stuff, have you ever, James, or would you ever try for like the Open or something like that?
No.
You wouldn't?
I've got no interest because I'm not good enough. It's one of them where I can play, I can shoot level par, I can shoot 80, I can shoot 85, I can shoot 90. I can't shoot 2 rounds of 65 back to back. I've never done it and I probably never will do it. So I don't see why I put myself in that position to try and go and do it. It doesn't make sense. Like if you've done it before, like if you've competed at a very high level before, the highest level I've competed at is a regional PGA event, or I think maybe a couple of national PGA events. Shot mid-70s, made no money. Remember, this is a job as well. So you spent 100 quid on your entry fee, you spent petrol money, hotel, you've practiced your ass for 4 weeks, you've turned down a couple of lessons. It's probably cost you like 500 quid to $1,000 to go and shoot 75 and meet a nice bloke who you played with. But apart from that, you're not taking much home from the week, are you? So
demoralising, isn't it?
So
when you turned pro, was the thought always to be a teaching pro coach rather than
100%,
playing?
Yeah.
So
like we said, back to the school days where I just love sport, love being involved in sport. Fortunately or unfortunately, golf was the sport that kind of chose me a little bit in that I was quite good at it. And then from there, just thought, well, I'm quite good at it, but I'm nowhere near good at it. Like I had mates who were literally like unbelievable, like grew up playing against Danny Willett and against a few others and beating them, but then just didn't take that step forward when people like Dan did. And then it's like, you see that and you think, well, I'm not as good as him. So I'm nowhere near as good as him.
Yeah.
And then,
I'm just going to nip back to the British Open one very quickly. There's a lot of people don't realise as well the cost of trying to, just to put your entry form into British Open. I know when I did mine, it was 120 quid.
Yeah.
And that was too long ago to mention, but that was a long time ago. And it cost me £120 just to go and play in an event. And you think now, like James just said before, I don't know what it is now because I've not checked, but it's got to be over £200.
Yeah, I think it's probably north of 200.
It doesn't make sense.
Mm-hmm.
I'll tell you next year.
Yeah.
You win it, mate. You win it.
He's going for it.
Excellent. Good luck. I hope I cut you off with that massive speed.
Yeah. He's like that. He's looked at his calendar then and thought, no, open, off.
Yeah,
I've done it once before. I'm going to go again at some point.
Good.
So
So I've got a question for you, which I think people would also want to know the answer. What is the strongest part of your golf game?
The funny thing is, it's flipped on its head. So when I was a junior, my short game, and I've got no problem saying this, was, do you swear on here or not? I don't know if you
do what you want, mate.
It's fucking unbelievable. Honestly, my short game was incredible.
Really?
And then I got to about 23, 24, and I had some time off. So I took 2 years out of playing golf to go and do a proper job, and it was awful, so I hated it. But then I came back, and the short game had just gone. And then I've never been like a big hitter, but usually I don't struggle hitting fairways, should I say? So that I probably would say now is my strength. Like the guys who I grew up with would say, literally, because all I used to do was so I grew up at a golf course in Sheffield called Whitley Golf Club, and the chipping green was really good, nice and secluded, well out of the way. Members never went to it because it was well out of the way. It wasn't right next to the bar. I'd take like a massive bag of balls down and just flop them, literally. Like I'd have a 6 foot chip from the fringe, and I'm thinking, right, how high can I get this and get it to stop next to the hole? And a lot of people think like you're messing about, you're wasting time. That's not what you'd play. Oh, I'd play it. Yeah. Like I play it all day long. And I used to go out and play in medals with like members at Wortley, and they'd be like, "Why are you playing that shot?" I was like, "Because it's just gone to 6 inch, and then the next one will go to 6 inch, then the next one I might hole it." Because I was so confident in opening the face up and hitting it that was it. But then, like I say, you take some time out of the game, you come back, and that probably confidence disappears and the timing disappears a little bit, and then from there, it's not bad now. So, like you probably saw my content, I was lucky enough to spend some time with Bob Vokey 2 weeks ago, and that was the best golfing experience of my life. I'm going to put this out there. He's the nicest man in golf. Proper, top, nice, just a genuine person. So I had a little bit of a lesson with him, but I also had a bit of a lesson with my mate Chris, who's on a lot of my content. He specialises in putting, but he's very, very good at teaching kind of chipping and pitching as well to a tall standard. And he looked at me. I don't expect you to watch like my videos, but there was a video 2 weeks ago on Saturday where I've said it was a chipping lesson, and his first words are, "Yeah, this is going to be hard." This like he just, because the technique was that bad that it's better now, but it's then finding like how to get your landing zone right because you're using the club differently and things like that. So long story short, nothing is the strength of my game at the minute, but we're trying to get it back.
Well, I'm just going to quickly touch on something because very similar. I mean, my gap was longer than your gap of 2 years. But do you regret that 2 years missing? And if you hadn't have had that gap, do you think you would have been a playing player as opposed to a coach?
No. So the gap I had, I went to work. I was very lucky at it. My dad's always had like quite a good job. So he was quite high up in a company called Hesco Bastion, which so they built Camp Bastion in Afghanistan. So all the kind of big. They were basically big baskets full of cloth, what you fill with rubble, and they were basically bomb shelters for the troops. And I went to work in the factory for him for 2 years. It was really good money, don't get me wrong. Like everyone in the factory was really well paid. It was a guy called Jimmy Hesselden, who unfortunately isn't with us anymore. He owned it, and it was such hard work. Like it was in Leeds. It was like lads from Leeds who were hard, like proper hard lads, like some had been to prison and stuff. And that made me as a person. Like I remember on my first week, I've gone and sat in my car on my lunch break, proper factory work, like you're filthy, you're running around. And I rang my dad. I was like, I can't do this. I'm not doing I can't do it. And my dad's answer was, well, you've only got another, what are you saying now? You've only got another 23 and a half months to go, so don't worry about it. I was like, shit. But then looking at it back, I speak to a lot of the lads now, and they still work there, and it's brilliant because it made me as a person in that I can take honestly the banter that was flying around was, and I say banter, it wasn't banter, it was absolutely ridiculous. Being a Man United fan as well, imagine that. In fact,
God.
So my name was Scum. Like every literally. So you'd have a label what I'd put on your work, and it was scum, and like that was one of the nicest words that I got called. So like a lot of things now, you learn that I'm probably massively thicker skinned now from the back of that. So going back to your question, it's like absolutely not, because if I'd have put time and effort in over those 2 years playing golf, financially I wouldn't have been in a stronger position as well, because I was lucky enough to save some money up. But also I would never have got good enough to be that good. And then looking back at it now, to be honest, I don't have the heart for it. I don't have the stomach for it, because even in that pro-am, don't get me wrong, I absolutely loved it. I love playing with Christian. He lost in a playoff. Like, I was watching it like, oh, come on. But anyway, and I was stood on the first tee thinking, I'm so glad I don't do this every week for a living. So glad. And then Rat took it out of bounds. So I was probably justified.
Makes you appreciate things a bit more when you had a job like that to doing what you're doing now.
Yeah. And I strongly believe that everyone should have to do something like that. Like a lot of the lads who kind of come out of school and they're funded to go and play professionally, don't get me wrong, good luck to them, and I hope they perform well, but
the real world.
Yeah, the real. You need some time in the real world to see what you want to do. Because I mean, imagine the lads who've come out of school, they've been funded, they've tried to play. They've got to like 30 years old. They've had a proper job, and then they need to go and make some money.
Yeah.
What must they like? We talk about mental health in like football and stuff, don't we? But very rarely is it mentioned in golf. Like, imagine how them lads feel. Think, what do you do? Like, I don't want to degrade a job and say, oh, I'm going to go and get that random job, but you've got to go and get that random job at some point, haven't you?
Of course you are.
Yeah, 100%.
You've got to pay the bills. You've got to keep the roof over your head. So if golf ain't cutting it anymore, you've then got to get into the real world.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah.
So, did you ever think you'd be in this position that you're in now? Like meeting Bob Volke and stuff like that? Was it ever in your thoughts when you thought, you know what, I'm going to start YouTube?
Probably not, but then, like I said earlier in the video about, or the podcast about how tenacious I am in what I do. You were driven. Yeah, I like to think that I probably never expected it, but I probably
wanted it.
You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
It was never given, or it was never a granted that it was going to happen. But I literally thought, yeah, I fancy a bit of this. I can do this.
You knew you had it in you to put the work in to get to where you needed to be.
Yeah, and I think that just comes down to how, like, I feel like I'm very honest in what I do, like in everything. Yeah. So, and if there's a place for anyone on YouTube to review equipment, it's probably me, because I'll be as honest as you want me to be.
Mm-hmm.
So,
yeah. Have you had any offers from said companies that you do review? Like,
yeah.
But you've turned them down straight up, or have you thought about them?
No, I've not. So obviously, you know, like I've got a deal coming up with Adidas. I've had a few other deals with Golf Catcher and Golf Makes Travel with Liam. But you're probably meaning clubs, aren't you?
Yeah.
Yes.
So,
yeah.
A lot of people have asked what I'd charge for a year's sponsorship. For me, it's not that, because I like Mark Crossfield as a person. I got to film with him. We spent some time together, and I thought it was great. And I asked him about it, and he said, I've got no problem with people commenting on my videos saying that I'm biased because I'm sponsored by Titleist, because I know who I am as a person and what I stand for. And I'm very much like that. Like, I know that if I did take a TaylorMade sponsorship tomorrow, I'm not going to, but it wouldn't make me review clubs any differently, because they are what they are and I am what I am. And but it's more the opportunities that I get from other brands. So the short game series that we're running like on Saturdays now, that's heavily in association with Titleist, which is why I got to go and meet Bob Volke. That's where that content came from. But then, so yesterday I filmed a fitting with TaylorMade for the new driver, and I got to spend time with their head fitter and the marketing guy, and it was brilliant. But then the beginner series is sponsored by Mizuno. So Foxy went and got paid for a set of Mizuno clubs. They've sorted him out. He's playing really good golf. He's enjoying it. So, like, you look at just those three for an example. What other brands are? I've probably done stuff with other brands as well. And so Callaway, I'm doing some stuff with Callaway in America at some point this year. I can't say anything about that at the moment. But if I went down a narrow path of one brand,
it cuts out the rest.
Shuts all the other doors.
Exactly. So, and I love what I do, and I love traveling, and I love meeting all these people like Bob Volke. So why would I put myself down such a narrow path stops all that content. Like, if someone came to me tomorrow and said, James, we'll give you X amount, but you've got to play with these clubs, but you can still go and make content for the other brands, not a problem. Absolutely, I'll take it, because it's money and it's your job. But that, in realistic terms, that can't happen, because there's no way that if I'm sponsored by Callaway, Titleist are going to say, James, will come meet Bob Bokey.
It's
not going to happen. So,
you'll still get the clubs to review, but the other opportunities will close.
I mean, I know Mark doesn't get TaylorMade clubs anymore, does he? And a few others, because of his links with, it was Titleist, now it's Strips and Cleveland.
The TaylorMade thing started before Titleist, though, wasn't it?
No idea.
I think it started before. Because Mark was one of the first people I started watching on YouTube, and I'm pretty sure it was before he took the TaylorMade, the Titleist sponsorship on.
Okay, right. So if they've got a problem with him, then that's kind of
But problem, he still manages to get the clubs to review them anyway. So
you're gonna do, aren't you? All it is he doesn't get them before embargo to test. Which, that's up to the brand, isn't it?
Yeah, that's it. Once the clubs are out, anyone can grab a club and review it. They can't. They're not going to come banging on your door saying you can't do that. Yeah, exactly. They might do. I'm sure they sent him some emails at some time, didn't they? Say
they did
this, that, and the other. But
that must be pretty cool, though, getting like the Sim Driver and the Maverick and the Cobra Speed Zone before it was even in the eyes of people. You must go to the club and go, yeah, well, you can't see this but I can. And I'm going to go.
So you know what? There's a really funny story with that where Gaz, God bless him. So all the Sim stuff came in, and so Gaz is the one which was on my Golf Now video with the shit haircut. So if you
I've seen it. Yeah.
So he's one of the pros at Fixby. He works for Alex, the head pro, and the box came in, and so we've got a pro shop WhatsApp group, and he sent me a picture of them all lined up in the shop, like, "Oh mate, are these for you?" And I'm like, Gaz, put them up, they're not out, put them away, put them back. And like literally, because there's some members at our place which would walk in, photo on Twitter. James Robinson's broke all the embargoes because they've seen him at Huddersfield Golf Club, and that's my reputation with TaylorMade tarnished quite heavily. Luckily enough, I managed to get him like quite quickly, and he put him in the back. But answering your question, it's fantastic getting them. It's brilliant. Loving golf as much as I do, I'll never, ever, ever stop enjoying taking like cellophane off golf clubs because it's brilliant. But it's quite stressful as well because like if you go to the driving range, you can't really take it. All it takes is like you put it down, someone picks up, this is nice. It's on social media with a picture of you in the background or something as well. Yeah. And it's like you're almost keeping them under lock and key. But
I was lucky enough to get the M3 before the embargo, and it must have been a shit review because they never sent me anything else. But it's like you say, it is hard keeping it out of people's eyes, and so people can't see it. And that's just me, a little no channel. So for you guys, it must be so difficult.
Much, pal. Come on.
No, mate. Can we give him a cuddle? Come on. Bring it in, boys. Bring it in.
See, with your
screen so I can get really close.
With your content, James, you still do you edit all your videos yourself? Yeah. So a lot of your stuff is still done solely just you doing it?
Yeah, I'd say probably 90% of it is, unless I have a guest on, like today with the Scotty Cameron video, we had Nick on, I might get Foxy on, Chris on, Mark on, Sprigsy. But that's what I love about it. I love that I can wake up in the morning. This is what I'm going to do today. I'm going to get in car when I want to get in car. I'm going to listen to what I want to listen to on radio, get to work, go to the studio. If I want a coffee, I'll have one. If I want two, I'll have two. Get up there. Oh, it's 9 o'clock. Right, I'm going to film until 10 o'clock or film until 11 o'clock. Then I'm going to have some lunch, and then lunch at 11 o'clock. Imagine that. And then I'm going to go home, sit in this office here, and just edit until 5 o'clock.
Yeah.
And that's what I love about it. In that, I was actually with Seb yesterday, so you saw the Racing Post thing. And, I was talking to Seb, and he sometimes he gets a guy to do his editing for him. And he says it's brilliant because he's that busy. He doesn't really have time to edit. Like, he's done editing in the past himself. He does a bit himself as well. But literally, he wants to film it, put it in a Google Drive, done. on someone who's going to edit it for him. Obviously, he looks over it, he sends back any amendments. But for me, I just love plugging in, editing, get it up, and then move on to the next one.
Yeah, because like with the numbers of subs and stuff you've got, you start seeing like even Liam. He's announced that he's taking on a cameraman and stuff like that. Can you see yourself ever doing that, or do you enjoy?
I'm not going to say no because obviously it's a never say never business, isn't it? But no.
Fair enough. See, I'm the same. I love it.
Go on, sorry. Carry on.
Go on. You've not said much today, Lee. We'll let you talk.
Sorry.
Come on, Lee.
Sorry, man. Right. Are we going to see much of you and Liam again on channels?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. Literally. So me and Liam, this isn't in a weird way, but me and Liam ring each other every day. We speak to each other every day without fail. Very, very close. We talk about business. Obviously, we've got to know each other a little bit, kind of in his family life and stuff. He's just had another baby, and we get on so well. I help him, he helps me. And the reason why we haven't collabed in a long time is purely that we're that busy.
Yeah.
And I tried ringing him.
Why don't you ring him now?
Yesterday.
Ring him now and put him on loudspeaker.
He'll probably not answer now, will he? Knowing.
Well, if he doesn't answer you, pal, I'll try.
Is Graham still there?
Last time we spoke was 9:44 this morning. That was for half an hour. So,
Graham, are you asleep, pal?
Let's see if he.
Welcome to the
He's put it down.
Welcome to TTG voicemail. He calmed me off onto voicemail.
Liam,
I'll
thank you very much
leave
for
my
that.
voicemail. Yeah, cheers, Liam.
Oh, he's back.
I'm back. Don't know what happened then.
Mate, I thought you were asleep.
I'm on the podcast now.
No, mate. Literally everything
speak
just
all the time
frozen.
on the
Which
phone,
mic am I on?
and you fired me off. So I'll speak to you in a bit.
That's brilliant.
Liam is one of them characters as well. He's just so good to get along with, and he's an honest person. If you're doing something that's shit, he will tell you.
He's brutally honest. Yeah. So, the majority of the time I spent with Liam was in America for the Masters trip and the Golf Mates travel trip. So we're walking through customs in America, and I mean, if you've been to the States, you'll know that customs in America is different to customs anywhere else. Like literally, don't smile. Don't laugh. Don't say anything. Just keep your head down. Hold your passport up and go. Yeah. Liam's walked up with his flip flops on, lobbed his passport at security guard and gone, "All right, cop." And we're all just like, "Liam, mate, come on."
Yeah, he's not got that serious thing about him, really, has he?
No, yeah, and that's what a lot of people love about him. And that's what we all love about him as well. In that he's literally he's not. So when he's on his channel, he ain't acting.
No, that's Liam. No, that's absolutely Liam.
We've all said the same thing. We've all said, because obviously he's helped us out a bit as well, and he's put us on his channel and stuff like that. But on camera, off camera, there's a little bit more swearing off camera.
He's more brutal with me off camera. I'll tell you that much.
but there's no difference. Like it's not an act. What you see on camera is what you actually get.
Absolutely not.
So you're going the Masters again, aren't you, this year?
Yes.
Yeah.
Are you looking forward to it?
Nah, it's all right, mate. Yeah, it's not like my office is covered in it, is it? So,
are you playing over there again?
Yeah, so it's basically exactly the same trip. So Golf Mates Travel run a trip where it's basically you go and stay at Harbour Town for a week, and you drive over to the Masters for a practice day, and it's literally like, if you're a golf fan, it's one of the best weeks of your life. It's like unbelievable. So. Yeah,
I've got a few friends that have been to the Masters a few times now, and they say the practice days are the best days to go on.
Yeah, I can't comment because I've not been to a proper day, so I'd never
don't know.
Yeah, but the Monday is fantastic. You probably saw I managed to get a video in on the Monday, and you try doing that any other day, and you've got. To be honest, I'm surprised I got as much as I did.
Yeah.
But you've literally got no chance.
Yeah.
Happy days. Right, should we move on to the Shankers question?
Yes.
Go on.
Here we go. What are your 3 holes and your 4 golfers?
So I'll go golfers first.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm right thinking one's a YouTuber, one's a celebrity, and one's a golf pro.
Yeah.
So The YouTuber is, where is he here somewhere? Big Al.
Yes, Big Al.
Al is one of the I'm going to put it over there. Because Al is one of the nicest people you will ever meet. Like, so when I went to Australia to film with Al and work with him, I stayed with him for like 10 days, like a week, 10 days. And I mean, so we were born in the same place, born in the same hospital, we grew up in the same place, but never knew each other. And then when we both he used to start YouTube a long time before me, and I used to watch his stuff. When I started, like, we used to message each other, like, having a laugh and that. And then it was like, oh, when we're going to collab? And I thought, well, I don't know, mate, you live on the side of the world.
Yeah.
It's really hard, isn't it? But then when I was doing some work in Dubai anyway, I said, look, mate, I want to come over for a bit and we'll do a couple of bits. And I knew a couple of people in Australia anyway, so I was going to go and see them. And he said, look, come and stay with me. Not a problem. As long as you don't mind 2 huskies eating you every morning for breakfast, then you're fine. So I thought, oh, well, why not? Like, and to be honest, like, as soon as he picked me up from the airport, we were just laughing and having a great time. So, like,
bromance. It's a bromance from the off.
Exactly that. Like, so to the point where we're going to his wedding. Like, I should probably know what year it is. Next year, I think. And we're probably going to go. Like, so me and my girlfriend are going to go and see him and Isha, which is his fiance, and Floki and Murphy, which are the Huskies. He'd kill me if I didn't mention them. We're going to see them at the end of this year. So it's like, and that's what I love about YouTube. It kind of brings people together as well.
Yeah. So I'm guessing he's the same off camera as he is on camera.
No, mate, talking mad.
Yeah.
Your face, though. No, mate, he's a top.
Yeah. He'll be on the podcast soon.
Really?
Yeah, I've spoke to him. I spoke to Alex. God, I spoke to Alex when I got the M3 just for advice on how to review a club, and he was brilliant. Just told me what to do, gave me some advice. Yeah. But I spoke to him a couple of days ago, and he said he's got some travelling to do. But when he's back,
he hasn't got travelling to do.
Yeah, that's right. I'll be messaging him in a minute. What travelling you got to do? James says you ain't got no travelling.
I don't know. But what time is it there? I'll try ringing him. But
they're 8 hours. See, this is the thing. They're 8 hours ahead of us.
Yeah, but he'll be up because he walks the dogs at like 3 a.m.
Right, ridiculous. That's fine. Then we'll be doing a podcast at like this time while he's walking the dogs.
But yeah, so he's the YouTuber, and then I get Liam to caddy for him because Liam's a top bloke as well. So there's them two there. Golf Pro, I'd go for one of my mates who you probably never heard of, but Jigger Thompson. So Jigger was on the European Tour, not last year, the year before, full card. We mentioned him earlier in the podcast.
Yeah.
Cracking lad, like nice as they come, Sheffield lad, 6'7", I think, maybe even a bit more. So he was the tallest golfer on tour when he was on tour, but like, just like, if anyone's watching the podcast and like he's on Challenge Tour now, I think he had a good finish last week, so hopefully he does all right this week as well. But just all round nice guy, and we'll have a laugh. Like all I would want in a 4-ball is for it to be a laugh. So throw it in there in the mix. And like, what I have no ambition of doing is playing with people like who, luckily in the Pro, I played with Christian Bezaden, who was a nice guy. We had a laugh as well. Like, if I got put with someone who was just like an absolute
stiff,
just a stone who had no emotion at all and didn't want to have a laugh, I'd be like, it's going to be the longest 4 hours of my life. So Jig would be the Pro, and then celebrity, because Jig's that tall, I'm going to go Kevin Hart.
Yeah.
So I'm not like, so
brilliant.
Out a little bit. And then it keeps it funny as well, doesn't it?
Yeah, that would be funny.
Can you imagine Kevin Hart? He'd have to use junior clubs or lady clubs.
You could bring Seb and borrow his.
Yeah.
I think Seb's probably a bit taller than Kevin Hart, to be fair. But I've been to see Kevin Hart live twice, and literally both times blown my mind. It was so funny. So,
he's funny. He's a funny guy. Have you watched his documentary on Netflix?
Yeah, fantastic.
That's brilliant. I love that.
It's fantastic, and it kind of shows how misconstrued the world can be, doesn't it?
100%. 100%.
Hole-wise, so I had those in my head. You probably know I've kind of reeled them off really quickly. I'm going to blag the holes like I do on my videos because I'm not sure about the holes. But I'm going to go 12 for Augusta, primarily because who doesn't want to play that? Yeah. Was it 3 holes?
Yeah.
3 holes. 18th at Harbour Town, because I've played that and that's the best golf hole I've ever played. by far. And Liam from Golf Logs UK took a 10 on it when we had a match going. And
we've seen that.
Didn't you play? You played it off the tips though, didn't you? You played it right off the back tees. Yeah.
Yeah, but that, I mean, it's not a 10 hole even off that. And then one more hole. I feel like I should know this hole, but the 14th at North Berwick, the one with the brick wall.
Right.
Yeah.
So North Berwick's one of I think it's the 14th. I feel terrible if I've got that wrong because North Berwick's one of my favourite courses. I'm sure it's the 14th, so that one.
There we go. That would be a brilliant 4-ball, though.
Yeah, it would.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Come and watch money for that one.
Who's winning? Yeah. Who's taking the money home?
Well, it ain't going to be Al, is it?
No.
I'm probably going to say it's going to be Jig, innit? But
yeah,
depends how many shots Kevin Hart gets, I think.
Yeah. Well, of course, yeah, because you three wouldn't get shots, would you?
No.
So yeah.
I'd be taking shots off Jig as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. Talking shots, what did you play off when you turned pro?
4.
You what, 4?
Yeah, 4. Minimum requirement to go on the PGA.
Yeah, he's 4.
As soon as I got there, in fact, I was I think I was waited to get to 18. Yeah, as soon as I got to 4, I came out the factory, I was off kind of 5, got down to 4, and that was when I left the factory and went into the pro shop and earned like £3 an hour for 2 years, and it was brilliant. So.
£90 a week I earned.
No, unbelievable.
12-hour shifts over 6.
And you were overpaid for that, mate, as well. I can't believe you're earning that much.
He's older than you.
I'm older.
I know, so he should have been using less.
Oh, he should have been using less.
Getting less.
Should have been, yeah.
I don't know, how long ago was it? 18 years ago, so I wasn't that well paid.
No. But that's what I mean. So, a lot of members will think, that's a lot of money, that. You're paying you too much there. You can afford a car. Paying you way too much.
It was an A-Reg Austin Metro.
Oh, dear.
Brilliant.
Well, I think we'll wrap that up there, lads.
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you very much for watching. Check out James's channel that way. And you probably already do if you watch us anyway.
Yeah.
But comment below, get involved. What do you think? And we'll see you later.
James, thank you very much.
Thanks for having me, boys. Cheers.
Bye.
Cheers, bud. Bye.
Right.